welcome to Omnibroslive, starting on time because who's in charge? Oh, OmniDog's in charge, right? We start on time. And we're here with Lou, Comics Guide, and a surprise, Mr. the Omnibus Collector is joining. Welcome to the show. And before we get going with our show, Riley and I were having a very interesting talk about not only is his hair long,
it's luxurious, by the way.
It is. It's always been thick and in front of his eyes. So this is like the most forehead I've ever seen.
Yeah,
we are haircut buddies. There we go.
Is that conditioner? Do you conditioner it?
I've been playing recently I found out that a lot of the popular brands make your hair fall out. Like there's shit in them. Yeah. So I found that like a cheap and popular brand that's out there that you can find pretty much anywhere. I got it at Target is the horse shampoo, the mane and tail.
Oh.
And so I just last weekend got mane and tail shampoo and conditioner, and I used it for a couple days. And then I got it putting it in my face, got it in my hair and my mouth. So last night I think I took a shower later in the day, and I woke up this morning and it was really like softer than it was after I washed it. And I was like, I'm gonna skip the because I usually wash and condition like every day, and I was like, I'm gonna skip for the day and see how it is. And I think that because most of the time, like anyone with longer hair will be like, don't wash and condition every day.
Right.
But with shorter hair, I was washing every day because if I didn't, my scalp would get really itchy. Ooh. But it's been one day without, and my scalp is not itchy, so I feel fine, and my hair is a lot less there's a lot less flyaways, and you can't see because I blurred everything, but it's a lot more there's a lot more body instead of just being like random little frizzy stuff all over the place.
And we talked about the fact that if he decides to cut it, it has to be with me because we're haircut buddies from the time I visited him in Austin. So, it's going to be a while before he cuts it because I have to schedule a visit to where he lives now.
Because I've had it cut a couple times, just trims and stuff, and I might.
Oh, you're cheating on me.
I know. Just a little bit to keep it healthy. Take you don't want to have all the dead ends, split ends and stuff. But I might texture it a little bit better. I was thinking about having like almost bangs and stuff, so I can just frame myself a little bit better instead of just having everything be the same length all the way around, more or less. It is longer in the back. But
got the mullet going.
Just a tiny bit of mullet, but I put I guess a little bit more of a mullet if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, I will let you know when I make the decision. If it's not one of those spur of the moment, I hate and then just shave it, I'll let you know. I've done that before. I will not shave my head all the way unless it's when I'm I'm gonna do it forever. Lou is always
100%.
Always shiny, and when I get to that point, then I'll do that, but I'm not doing it again until I'm ready. But I discussed a couple weeks ago on the show on Thursday night with Gio and with Colleen, who y'all haven't met, but they're our third member on 3 out of 4 shows a month. That when I cut it, I might do it short, maybe do a buzz and dye it another color.
Nice.
And that led to our discussion of the fact that for some reason, and I will remember to talk about our fabulous sponsor here in just a sec. For some reason, I agreed when I hit 8,000 subscribers that I would let my daughter dye my hair. I don't remember it, but my wife and daughter firmly remember it. So apparently I'm getting my hair dyed. I'm 100 subscribers away from it.
Are you being gaslit about this?
Wait. Okay, so this is a rare opportunity here, Riley. Are we talking about a full dye? Are you getting frosted tips? Like, what are we doing here?
That is a good question. I don't know. And another move of stupidity, I put it up in my YouTube group, my YouTube channel. I said put it up for a vote, and so far pink is leading. So I I don't know if she's going to go for full pink or maybe pink with red tips. I don't know, but I am not going to dye the beard. I'm going to leave the beard normal because I think that would just be straight out of Heath Ledger's Joker or something, to get my beard dyed the same color as my head. And I don't know. I guess maybe I thought at the time that the 8,000 subscribers was a long ways away, but it happened faster than I thought. So one thing, and here's James. Pink is in first place. This is the link if you want to vote. 31% with green in second place at 26%. And these two are remembering that this is, I forgot, we are the original three Omnibros.
We are the original three.
Yeah.
I would love to personally see you take it back to the mid 2000s, get the frosted tips going on, because you do have the silver mane right now. I think a blonde frost look would not be a bad look for him. What do you think, Riley?
I think he could do pink tips, like have the silver with hot pink tips.
I can almost feel James Abel clipping that pink tips already and sending it to me. It's going to be like pink tips. Riley saying pink tips. I don't. Doug doesn't even have power, but he's catching this one. Are you watching on your phone, buddy? Marvel Babs here. Good evening, chaps. Hope all is well. I'm due a haircut. Haven't had one since COVID-19.
Wow.
Needs to go to the barber every 2 weeks, saving money for more Omnis. Well, I think we all agree Omnis are more important than hair. I mean, haircuts. Yeah.
I just gave myself haircuts most of the time.
I think I remember you're telling me that.
Yeah, I would just, buzz around the sides and stuff. And then when the top got too unmanageable, I'd either, get someone to cut it for me, or I would eventually go in and do it. But now I just don't bother with it.
That day we got her. I still think that was the greatest spontaneous thing we did. When we got our haircut, we also went across the street to that candy store.
Yes.
Did we start the day at the toy museum, or was that a different day?
I don't remember if that was the same day or a different day, but I know we did that. I know there was several meals that we went for barbecue, tacos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We went to the toy museum, looked around. I remember they had I think they had a lot of Simpsons figures set up, and I know they had a lot of Muppets figures in a little diorama.
And they had it was some guy's collection, and Riley and I just randomly saw it was pouring rain. Riley and I just randomly saw it as we were driving, and I said, we have to stop here. And it was, I don't know, $10 for admission, and he had his whole toys set up, like Riley was saying, like all these dioramas. But then he also had arcade machines and then home consoles. And he and I played X-Men fighting game or something. And I sucked as bad on it as I did back when it came out. I was like, I can't, I was just button smashing, and Riley was kicking my ass. I think he was like Kitty Pryde and I was Cyclops or something. I can't even remember.
You should have been a table.
My one true weakness.
Right. Riley's kryptonite. We do have a sponsor, our fabulous sponsors, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30% off to up to 65% off during their tag sales. Add 2% for loyalty discount. The end of every month on a Monday, we give away a free $50 gift card, courtesy of InStockTrades.com. We're good for $50 worth of credit at InStock Trades. $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping, fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's instocktrades.com. And by the way, Riley is the one who first brought the mouth harp to the channel. He and I had a mouth harp-a-thon. Do you have your mouth harp with you where you are, or has that been?
I have it. I know I have it somewhere close by. I just don't remember exactly where I put it because I had it recently. Like I used it for alternative purposes outside of this show. And oh, here we go. Yeah, I knew that it was in my desk.
Nice.
Oh, we got dual mouth harps.
Oh, you have two.
Ow. Ow. I'm out of practice.
Starts.
I gotta pull my hair back though, because it's getting in there. But I feel Boom.
Two mouth harps. Right on, man.
I love that video.
I want to get some more, like, because there are different types. Like there are different types, and like it's pretty much like every country has their own version of it, and they're all very like different from one another. And so like you can find them for pretty decent, like cheap prices online. Get like different ones that have different tones, different pitches. So I'd like to get them just for fun, but I haven't done so.
Max from the Netherlands sent me a video of a guy that has electrified his with effects.
Nice.
I think the mouth harp's normal, but he's got a mic that he can change. This guy was playing like Rammstein and Metallica stuff. And it was like Enter Sandman. And it was really cool. So yes, we are the original three.
Yes, we are.
Do the darker hair up top pink and leave the white on the sides like a Pride Month Reed Richards. Well, if it's going to be Pride Month, it has to hurry up. We're halfway through.
This whole hair thing kind of sounds like past Jess was like, well, this will be future Jess's problem. And now future Jess is present day Jess, and he's regretting what past Jess did.
That's pretty much every day that I regret what past Jess has created for me. It's almost like I hate myself in the future, so I'm going to create problems for him.
Gotcha. Yes, gotcha.
Yeah. Chris Original Recipes here. True Graphic. Saturday's going to be a good for me. My local comic book store is having a sidewalk sale, and they'll be selling graphic novels for $1.
Wow.
After I pay a visit there, I will go see The Flash. Ugh. I am not going to be able to see The Flash or Spider-Verse until next week, and I'm just praying that somehow they don't get spoiled for me. So I haven't seen a preview or anything for either of those. So please, everybody have mercy on me and don't say anything about either movie. I know I'm excited for both of them. You should go for the MySpace Hot Topic emo girl look. I only understood a couple of those words.
Half of those words were not in the Bible.
Cycle's here. Cycle never comes to OmniBros. Way to go.
Man, that's old.
I don't think they're going to be nice enough to me. I think my wife and daughter are going to get together. I like the idea of the pink tips. Okay, that's definitely getting clipped. But I feel like it should be like spiked almost. If it's spiked and pink, I think I could sort of probably pull that off.
Ooh, yeah.
Because then it'll grow out. This reminds me that Michael 031484 with the YouTube thing. I don't know if this is real or not, but I said in the Omnibros chat today, specifically to like Omar, because he has creators contact him all the time. I don't want to be naive and think I'm getting catfished, but I feel like where is that? Let's see. I have that picture I took of wait, what the? Oh yeah, here we go. I did a YouTube video on how much I love Superman Space Age, and I got a message from just Michael saying, "What a terrific surprise to run across your incredibly kind words about our book. Thank you." And so before I responded, I wanted to ask Omar, and he said, it could be him, like it could be Mike Allred. And so I responded and said, "Is this really you? And if it's not, I'm going to pretend that it's you." And he wrote back and said words to the effect of, "Yeah, it's me. I've been me my whole life. And also thank you for your kind words on all the Mad Men collected editions." I'm like,
Wow.
he
I hope
knows
it is.
He knows that. See, this is a big deal for me because I don't know who's watching my videos. When we did interviews back during the pandemic, the minister and I, we talked to a lot of people. We didn't get to talk to Mike Allred, but Cullen Bunn's the only one he was a great interview, but then he came in and started answering people's messages. Like there were a couple of semi-rude ones, and he'd come in and answer them himself. And that was hilarious that he did that.
That's great.
So I don't know what to do. I'm going to sort of play it out and just say, okay, if it is you, I really dig your art and everything. I don't know what to do because I also know I'm naive and I don't want to get catfished.
Well, I mean, it could always be him. The comics community is a very tight-knit community, and it's not as big as I would assume. It's not as big as most people think it is. And a lot of these creators, they might be looking at, oh, I wonder if people liked what I wrote and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a strong chance. I mean, worst case scenario, it's not him. It's some 300-pound guy that's living in his basement or something like that, pretending to be him or something.
Yeah,
You know?
And then that's on him for being a jerk, not
Exactly.
me for being trusting.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, hey, I think we never know who is watching our stuff. We've actually been fortunate enough. We've had a few creators, across all the channels and stuff like that we're a part of that have hit us up in different forms, different fashions and stuff like that, And I would like to apologize to Steve Orlando at this moment. If you're watching.
His Scarlet Witch is supposed to be pretty darn good. I'm looking forward to reading it.
I'm pretty sure if Chris Ware ever sees me in the street, he might want to throw hands with me at some point. But no, it's really cool. It's really cool to always hear that stuff. It's like, wow, they actually watched some of our stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to use a British word, I'm gobsmacked if it is him. And Arya, are you still here? Because if Arya's here, I want to talk to him. He left a really kind message on the hijacking of my show to celebrate my 15th anniversary. So Arya, if you're still here, let me know. Let me go through these. Yeah.
Real quick though, what about you, Riley? Have you ever had? Because you're pretty big on TikTok. Have you ever had anybody from Japan or anything like that reach out to you? Because you do a lot of manga stuff.
I've had both comics and manga. Like on Twitter, it's not that uncommon for manga creators to retweet like anyone talking about their stuff. Like last week, Viz Media did a bunch of new announcements, and the creator of Snowball Earth, a series that they're going to be publishing next spring, retweeted like my tweet about it, and also Gio's tweet about it.
Cool.
On TikTok, not really. I don't get any like creators from manga and stuff, but I've had a couple of comic book creators interact with me on TikTok.
Cool.
I forget M. Struble, who did the Little Depressed Boy comics at Image back in the like late 2000s, early 2010s.
Those were good. I remember
Yeah,
those.
they reached out, or not reached out, like commented. I think they follow me on there, but I never followed back because they don't do much. And then I've had I've spoken. I mean, I've spoken with people at like every publisher in the U.S. I've also spoken at length with people who work for Kodansha in Japan. Like I had a couple of Zoom meetings with them that were a few hours long, and then I do still have like comic book creators and their like representatives reach out to me. Like I had someone for Steve Rude email me like 2 weeks ago about a book, and I was like,
Was it Nexus?
"Yeah, did you get that?"
No, but I remember the book.
Yeah, so they emailed me about Nexus, and I was like, "I'm not gonna make content about that. Like, I don't want you to send me something that I'm not gonna talk about in video." And also, it's written by Mike Barron, who's kind of persona non grata at this
He
time.
is?
Yeah, because he's involved with the whole CG stuff, and I don't want to deal with any of that. So I just didn't respond, but I did have Jeff Smith's people reached out to me last year, and so when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I met up with him and I talked to him for a solid like 30 minutes.
That's awesome.
He's really cool. He's super cool. Like
Really,
I bet.
Like he's like the type of cool, like I would imagine him. He probably rides a motorcycle everywhere and is like just a cool dude, but also cool to talk to. And he gave. I had brought a friend of mine with me, and he gave that friend a copy of the Bone like compendium for free. Because I was like, "Hey, how much is your Bone?" I was gonna buy it for my friend. I was like, "How much are you selling Bone for at your booth?" Because he hasn't read Bone yet. And he was like, "Oh, here," and he signed it and gave it to him. He's like, "It's yours."
that's awesome. See, that's really cool. I love Jeff Smith.
But yeah, so and the first one that I remember as far as a comment on my videos went was when I did a whole video a few years ago about Swamp Thing, and I did like a reading guide or a like collecting guide for Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right after Nancy Smith had her omnibus come out. And so I talked about it, and I said, like, I can't believe that Nancy Smith's run actually got an omnibus. This is so cool. And she commented and said, "Trust me, I can't believe it got an omnibus either." And I was like, "That's hilarious."
Wait, what was this for?
That was, or sorry, not Nancy Collins.
Nancy Collins. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I said Smith because I was thinking Jeff Smith, but Nancy Collins. When I made a video about Swamp Thing collecting, and I put her omnibus in there, it had just come out. So that was early pandemic. I remember that was one of the first ones that like it was delayed like all the other DC books, but there were copies coming out, and I was like, gotta have it. So I think I actually ordered it on Amazon. So I made sure I got one of the earlier copies.
Michael says, "Well, that mic wasn't me. I'm the mic bitching about you bringing these books to my attention because it's eating at my wallet." But James, super producer, said, "Jess, I went to Mike Allred Twitter and he shared your video."
Oh,
wow.
Wait, where's my son of a bitch one?
That was him then. That was probably him, Jess.
Wait, I got to get James' comment off of there.
Jess, now's your chance. Now's your chance. Shoot your shot, man. Try to get him on your show. See if you can interview him.
Hey, that's the thing. I don't go on Twitter at all. So I know Riley and you both do. So I wouldn't know. I think if I did my stuff if I had a Twitter, well, I have a Twitter, but it's dead. If I did have Twitter, then there'd be a way to easily verify it. But I've never had a creator leave a message through YouTube. So, son of a bitch, that's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I mean, we're all big fans of Mike Allred's work here. It's so good.
I love that guy. And now I love him even more. Wow. Thank you, James. That's really awesome. What else can I?
I'm retweeting his tweet. sharing your video?
If I'm not on if I'm not on Twitter, how will I find it?
I mean,
Maybe I should follow you. So
I'm retweeting it so that my people can see it. I'm just happy to see. My great friend Jess, quote, OmniDog brag, loved Mike's new Superman. I was going to say, awesome to see Mike interacting.
I would love to get him on just to talk to him about Ecstatics, because I love Ecstatics. It was such a crazy and wild, just nutty X-Men book, and his Silver Surfer stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, well, since we're best friends now,
his FF. Oh god.
I think now is a decent time, like if he would want to talk about Ecstatics, because he's doing that new like X book, or is doing.
Okay, now that he and I are best friends, I'll see if I can interview him on my channel for everything but Ecstatics, and then we'll get him on here specifically for Ecstatics, and everyone's life will be immeasurably improved, especially mine.
Do you remember that book was on clearance? That omnibus at one point, you could get it for about $20. It was sitting everywhere.
As happens so many times.
Yeah. I honestly haven't read it. It's on Kristen and my omnibus to be reviewed on her channel type of thing. And I've heard so much good stuff about it that I don't want Mike to know that I haven't read it. I'm lying. I read it and it was great.
I will say this, that you obviously know because you've already read it and liked it. It is a very easy and quick read. Like even though it's a pretty fat book, like it's not very daunting. It's not very hard to get into. Like once you get into it, it is so much fun. It's so easy to go through the entire thing. I think like when I read it, when the first printing of the omnibus happened, and it only took me like maybe a few days of reading it, like while I was at work.
It flies by, honestly. It's such, and the thing is, it's such a fun book, and it's so crazy. You're wondering where it's going to go next, that you'll blaze through that book real quick, Jess.
Wow. James
Excellent.
just sent me this.
Yeah, I just retweeted because it didn't have a ton of notes on it, so I wanted to boost the attention to it.
That's really cool.
that you actually know me, the famous YouTube producer.
He must not go on Twitter that often, because for a well-known creator as him, he only has 38,000 followers on there.
He might not be active.
This may be one of the greatest days of my comics life.
That's awesome, Jess. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. I mean, it's a huge deal to me. And Cycle said, wait, OmniDog with a humble brag. Thank you. Larry's here. Bob Layton left a comment on my Bob Layton Iron Man artist selected edition. That IDW did not let him pick the issues for that book. I never did confirm if it was real or not.
I felt embarrassed when I met Bob Layton because I didn't know which person at his booth was him. And so I like handed my Iron Man omnibus to his like assistant.
That's hilarious.
Like, oh no,
guess super producer's job, James Abel. James, yeah, you need to Cycle see. I'll see what I can do. If someone tells him Cycle Cleveland is reading 2 Mike Allred books thanks solely to OmniDog talking them up, he'll come on for sure. The name Cycle Cleveland is powerful in the comics community. So, and here's something sad about Red Rocket 7. It came with a CD of his music, and I left it in my car, my convertible that broke. And when I turned it in and bought a new car back in 2016, I realized that it was still in the CD player, and all I had was the sad little case that was empty.
Oh,
so I need to get that again because I also like that book.
Yeah.
Omnidog and Lou, an all-red interview or appearance on OmniBros would be just the hit we need to gin up sufficient interest in an Ecstatics reprint, making Tiger Eye's next top 20 reprints poll. Is it out of print, Ecstatics?
I think so.
Did it not get reprinted at some point?
I
don't
thought
know.
it did.
But I guess if it did, it went back out of print.
The name Cleveland is powerful in general. If all 43 watching like and retweet, he will definitely see it. Yeah, everybody with a Twitter account, please retweet Mike Allred's tweet and just say what a huge fanboy I am. I can't believe it.
All right.
Okay, I guess I've milked that for all I can.
You want to come crashing down back to reality? Because yeah, we lost one, guys. We lost another one. What was it reported yesterday, right? I believe the family came out and said it's confirmed.
Oh, yeah, yesterday, John Romita Jr. was the first I saw when he tweeted.
Yeah. Can we talk? Yesterday sucked in general for deaths. We lost Cormac McCarthy, my favorite author of all time. He lived at 89. And then on top of that, we ended up losing John Romita Sr. Oh, God. Yesterday was just one hit after the other. And John Romita Sr., well, that was your Spider-Man artist, right, Jess?
Yeah, I think I started as a teenager getting into it probably in the I guess somewhere in the number 80s or so, and then read it well through. I did not pick up Spider-Man 129, sadly, but I did pick up the Death of Gwen Stacy issues. They were in my collection in pretty darn nice shape, and I'm trying to think. Did he did the interior art for 132? But did he do the covers for both?
I don't know. You got me on that one.
Let's see. I have here, let's see. Amazing Spider-Man. He was an interior artist. 87, 88, 93, 95, 106, 119, 132, 39 through 58. Yeah, that's about when I got into it. So, I would consider him my Spider-Man artist because that's probably around the time of the Omni number 3 or number 4. Number 4?
That would be, I want to say 3.
Okay.
Because 1 is Stan Lee, Steve Ditko. 2, you get John Romita Sr. That's when he first came on.
Okay.
And then, by his own admission, John Romita Sr. said he's not. I sent you guys a clip of it. He didn't feel like he was even really John Romita Sr., like his own version of Spider-Man, until about issue 80 something. Because he said for a while he felt like he was just aping Steve Ditko. After that, he kind of started to get into his own rhythm, and he started to really, really hit the gas on his own version of the character. And to me, when I think of Spider-Man, he's the first one up there. I think of all the iconic covers and all the iconic, Face It Tiger, you've hit the jackpot. Yeah. There's so many. His run alone has so many fucking amazing covers and just moments. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
I didn't realize until yesterday, like, how many of those were his. Because obviously I knew, like, yeah, JR Sr. is Spider-Man, but like I didn't realize exactly how many iconic images that I knew from reading and just from knowing Spider-Man did belong to him. I never put 2 and 2 together because reading a lot of those things earlier, like, when I was younger, I wasn't sitting there paying absolute attention to who the artists were when I was a kid. And it was just like, oh yeah, I know that scene. I know this one. There was even some covers from like later on, like he did a Hobgoblin one where Peter's like ripping through or whatever. Like it
Hobgoblin's ripping. That was 2
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that
That's
I
a
didn't
famous.
realize that was him either. And I was like, oh,
Okay.
snap. Because that's pretty far later on from when he was originally doing it.
Yeah, 238. He did that.
I'm
And-
Spider-Man No More, where he's got it's an iconic cover where he's got the spider suit in the trash can. He's walking away from it. Just, oh my God.
Yeah.
It feels like we've lost, in the last few years, we've lost so many of these guys from the Silver Age.
yeah.
And it's really a damn shame. And this one kind of feels like is the last great one. Other than, I asked Omar in the chat, and he thinks maybe Steranko is probably the last one that we've got.
Yeah.
And even then, Steranko is crazier than a rainbow trout in a car wash these days. So,
I feel like we wouldn't know for a little bit. Like, Steranko's so, like,
yeah.
exiled and stuff. Like, we probably wouldn't know for, like, a little bit that he had died.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I
this
don't
one
think I
hurt.
knew that about him. I feel like he was at Baltimore Con when I was there, unless I'm thinking of Jim Starlin. But wait, does Steranko wear dark glasses like everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was at Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah, that's Steranko's thing. He wears dark glasses everywhere he goes.
And he has a big silver mane,
Yes.
huge hair. Okay, yeah.
Yep, that's
That
him.
was definitely him.
Yeah. So for me, while it's true that Steve Ditko and Stan Lee created Spider-Man, and this is nothing against Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko is a fantastic artist. It's John Romita Sr. for me that I think about when I think about Spider-Man. It's not necessarily the Steve Ditko stuff. I think he brings a more level of detail and his camera placement, and he gives it more of a cinematic feel to the character, to the panels and stuff. It's such a step up. Again, nothing against Steve Ditko, but for me, it's such a step up.
We all have our favorites that made an impact on us, and it doesn't mean that the guys who created him or the artist before them wasn't good, but yeah, we all have our favorites that we kind of glommed onto and meant the most to us. And so, yeah, when I think about Spider-Man, that's who I always think about. And then I was looking at all the other stuff he did for Marvel, which looks like almost every title he had practically something to do with, from Captain America and Daredevil, Fantastic Four he did issues for. He was drawing well into the 90s with Kingpin #1, Outlaw Kid, Ringo Kid, Spectacular Spider-Man, Tales of Suspense, so Ultimate Spider-Man. So he did a lot. He did Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, that big giant issue that I had for 2 seconds. I don't know where it is now.
Do you mind if I share my screen? We can pull up a few images.
Please do, yeah.
Okay.
I can add it.
Let me close some tabs from work and things like that real quick. Okay. Share screen. Here we go.
Did you share it?
Yeah. Am I good?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so these are, obviously the huge wedding issue.
Oh, yeah.
You just look at some of the stuff. There he was right there. Is there an artist edition for his stuff out yet?
Yes, I think. Maybe. I don't pay attention enough to those. I'm talking out on my butt.
Gabe would probably know.
Just say yes.
Okay.
What covers? Oh, there's that famous cover right in there. That's on like Spider-Man. That one in the middle with him. Isn't that where he meets Mary Jane too? This one here in the middle where the water's rushing in. I think that's on the cover of Volume 3.
I love this cover.
Yeah.
He does have an artist edition. I just looked it up.
I think
familiar.
it's in that run where that's where the Face It Tiger, you've hit the jackpot, which is funny because it's like a blind date setup for him. And Peter's like, oh God, I don't want to meet Mary Jane. Who is this Mary Jane? And then there's that famous image of a hot Mary Jane saying,
Mhm.
face a tiger, you've hit the jackpot, which is kind of funny.
Green Goblin. I love his Green Goblin.
Oh, yeah. He designed Wolverine, Punisher, Luke Cage, Black Widow, and Dr. Voodoo. He had an ASM Artist Edition many years ago.
Mm.
And he lived to be 93, so he did have a good run, but it's still painful to lose somebody like that.
Yeah.
There's that face it, Tiger, you've hit the jackpot one.
Where was it? I think I missed it.
It's in the top row right there. Whoop. Now it's on the bottom row.
Oh, right here? Well, this is her image in that.
Oh! But you had the panel.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. That's so great.
Yeah, this is one of those images that is iconic. If you've been reading comics long enough, then you've seen this particular image. And I know many kids, many boys that age were like, oh, he's lucky.
You know, also her, I don't know, you can't really do this intentionally, but her clothes are so timeless in that. Like just jeans and a black tank top is something that people wear now. And so that image can, like, it hits the same now for people as it would then.
Yeah.
And there he is daydreaming about Gwen Stacy right above it.
I was always a Gwen Stacy kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
See, I grew up on my first like real exposure was the 90s cartoon for Spider-Man. So I was definitely an MJ guy. And to me, like Gwen was the other girl, even though she very decidedly wasn't. And when I found out that later, I was like, what?
Do they have just the covers? Can you get just the covers, that is?
Hold on. Are you looking for specifically?
Just any oh, well, there's the famous Spider-Man No More.
Yeah, that's, man.
I mean, that thing's been homaged repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. Fucking shame, man. I mean, he lived a long life, but it's always, it's always. Oh, let me stop sharing. It's always a bummer when a guy who's that legendary and that prolific is gone, because it's you have that realization of we will never get, unless they find some stuff that he was working on and put it out, you will never get another original this from this particular creator.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson painfully when Darwin Cook died, where that hit like a cold splash of water in the face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. We will never get an original Darwin Cook piece of work anymore. That sucks.
Yeah, I remember you took that really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I took it hard yesterday when Cormac McCarthy passed away at 89. I was like, fuck. I mean, it's great. He made it to 89. But the guy's like it was the greatest American author that was alive at the time. And I was like, we'll never get anything new by him again. That sucks.
Lars says John Romita was one of the greatest Spider-Man artists ever, but my favorite will always be Ross Andrew. That's fair. I read a ton of Ross Andrews stuff. I did want to highlight one thing because it doesn't apply to me, but it applies to Riley because it's the original three here. Unity was way back in the chat. Who was it that said that? Wait, how far back was this? Aria, are you still in the chat? Are you official Scott Stapp?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Riley. We have Scott Stapp.
We do too on the manga show.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
Personally, I'd like to get the lead singer from Sugar Ray on here as well. But work on that one a little more. I heard he's a dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's gone violent a few times.
Yeah.
Doug says that was a really good review. Soup sold it for me. That's good. True Graphic. I'm glad you enjoyed Superman Space Age. It's now my favorite Superman story. Same.
Wow.
Same here.
Over All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
Wow, that is high praise.
That is.
Yeah. Somebody, why can't I find that? Somebody was saying it's National Bourbon Day, and I was thinking that doesn't apply to me, but it applies to Civil War II Riley.
Oh Lord.
You still don't remember that book?
I remember as little as I can.
Didn't She-Hulk die in that book?
She got I think hit with a rocket. If I'm not mistaken, it was Thanos using a rocket launcher.
What?
Yeah, and hit She-Hulk, and that's why when She-Hulk came back, I think she went into a coma, and when she came back, the next run was the Mariko Tamaki, where she was savage and stuff, and she had all those scars and whatnot. It changed her, man. Thanos rocket launcher changed her.
Was he in the helicopter at the time?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh.
No Thanos copter. Oh man.
The Thanos copter would have made that scene better, though.
It would have.
I would have loved that.
You have Thanos in the helicopter looking out with the rocket launcher. And just, I don't know. It's just so. One day I will reread that.
Oh God.
Because I've only ever read it in the singles as it came out, and it's a different experience if you read it all at once. So one day I will read through the entirety of that main event and any important tie-ins, and then I'll come back to it and probably still hate it just as much, if not more, because it's just so many stupid concepts all the way through. And that was one of the last things that Bendis did before leaving Marvel. It's bro, really? You're gonna just take a shit on the doorstep and walk away?
Okay, so we're gonna have Thanos. He's gonna have a rocket launcher, and he's gonna shoot it at She-Hulk.
There were things that came out of it that were fine, but come on, man.
Yes, it was Civil War. Jesus, Civil War II was.
Which is funnier or dumber, or which is the goofier concept? Spider Buggy or Thanos copter?
Thanos copter.
I think Spider Buggy was created just to sell toys, but
I think the Thanos copter is goofier because it's Thanos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man has gadgets and gizmos aplenty, and especially at that time, and like you said, it's made for selling toys, but even then, after that point, onwards, it's never been weird for Spider-Man to have weird tie-in things in his comics. But for Thanos to have a helicopter, especially in retrospect, it's huh?
Yeah. What? This I just love that. Wouldn't that be great to own the original art of that and just have that Thanos in a helicopter? Here it is on my wall.
If anything, Civil War II gave us Riley's greatest review, where he was pounding drink after drink. Well, and he kept getting more incoherent as he kept reviewing it further and further along.
I think he just started out with a half glass full of pure whatever it was. It was some prime bourbon, and but the lower it got on the glass, the lower he ended up in his chair, and the drink was sort of sloshing around. God, that was a great moment.
And the next day, I had work the next day, and I went home almost immediately. This is when I was working at the Austin Airport Enterprise location, and the manager that was on duty at the time looked at me and was like, "You gotta go, dude!" Immediately. And the way that it worked was when at that airport, there was an offsite area with where their maintenance for the cars was, and we would park our personal cars there, and then they would take a shuttle. Like the manager would drive a shuttle of all the employees working that shift and take them into the actual tarmac or whatever. And in the garage, we'd go up into our floor, which is like the third or fourth floor was where Enterprise was, and we'd all shuffle out and we'd start moving cars around and getting people checked in. And so like I made it up there, like and that was it. Like I made it up, and he opened the door, looked at me, like I got there, parked my car in the parking lot, got in the little shuttle. He drove us up there. I was in the thing, and I was just like dead, like about to just blow chunks everywhere. And he looked at me and he said, "Get one of the cars that needs to get an oil change and drive back to the lot and go home."
He didn't even want you there that day.
He was like, "You look terrible, like whatever it is." And the thing was, like, I always have such a great, like when I was in school, anywhere I've been at work, like I always had such a great track record for like never being sick and stuff. So if I was sick, they were like, "Yeah, you got to go." It was no question, because there was never any sort of question of like, "Oh, he just doesn't want to be here today." It's like they'd look at me and be like, "He doesn't screw around. Like he's sick. Go." They didn't know that I was hungover. Like he thought I had a virus, like a stomach bug or something. But
you had the bourbon virus.
Yes, because I also didn't. I don't drink often, so I was never like, out drinking with everyone after shifts and stuff like that. So they didn't expect that I would show up hungover one day.
Was that when it was just the three of us still?
We might have had at least like maybe Gio. I don't know.
I want to say we had Gio and Gabe at that point, but I don't think they were on that show. I think Gio was.
I feel like, okay, I don't remember. I feel like it was around 2018 or so, and I don't remember when we expanded. Hondo, you missed the fact that I am now best friends with Mike Allred, and he's visiting and staying in the guest room with his wife.
You know what? On that note, if you should try to reach out to him and email him and talk with him, and then whatever con he's going to, if you like have any sort of mild email conversation, you can tell him like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this con. I saw that you're gonna be there," like something that's local, and then you can totally like just be able to hang out and gab with Mike Allred.
I'm wondering, since I only have YouTube, I'm wondering how I could get his email.
You can hit him up in that email that he sent you.
It's a message. Oh, I know. I can just give him OmniDogsVault2 at Gmail and say, send me an email here, and I'll tell you how great you are. Whatever. I'll try not to act like an 8-year-old, even though I'm as excited as an 8-year-old.
I'm trying to see if I can find
Civil War II review is a top OmniBros moment. Oh, Tasty Melon has the helicopter. It's the size of a Hot Wheels car, 1/64. Is Thanos in it?
God, I want that Thanos copter.
I kind of do too now. I didn't know it was a toy.
Hold on.
With a little junior Thanos in it? That's such a funny moment.
There is a he has a website with a contact us, but it's for his, I guess, like manager, Brian Hubert, and it's for interview and appearance queries.
Jess, there are multiple Thanos copters you can buy online right now.
Oh, how expensive are they?
I don't know. There's different versions. There's one with Thanos in it.
Oh, that's the one I want. Does he have what I want is Thanos copter and a bazooka that you can put on his shoulder there and sort of mix the ideas. No, Thanos is not in it. I bought it less than 3 years ago at Walmart. I want Thanos in the Thanos copter.
Yeah, there is that, but it was from San Diego Comic-Con 2018, so it might be a little hard to find.
The thing is with us, we don't archive our stuff really that well. So we'll have moments like that and fucking Nemo, and we have no clue where they are.
Geo's pretty good at finding them, although,
Yeah.
because they're buried and they're not. The episodes aren't called. I think Civil War was just a random thing that came up in the middle of whatever our topic was.
Yeah.
And same with fucking Nemo. I think that came up in the just randomly as I was showing it, and same with my broken tooth.
There's a lot of stuff in those early days where it's not archived well. It was just flying by the seat of our pants. We didn't even title a lot of the stuff back then. It was just, yep, we're having a show tonight. And then we would go for 3 hours, 4 hours. And yeah, Jesus.
I'm finding the copter on eBay. And there's one here. The cheapest one is it's $40 plus $5 shipping.
Is Thanos in it?
Yes.
Ooh,
there you go, Jess.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put it in the private chat right here. That's a hell of a link. What the hell? But yeah, it's in the little box. 50th anniversary.
Oh, it's in the box too.
Yeah, it's got a little cardboard box, and you open it up, and it. Wait.
I want this.
Why is it?
I do too. And then we can have an episode where we're playing with our Thanos copters.
Hold on.
And
it's
bazooka.
I was worried because it was there's only pictures of the box. And I looked and it says brand new, unused, unopened, undamaged. So it should be original, sealed in original factory packaging. So yeah, it should be completely in mint condition on the inside, but the package itself is a little scratchy.
Okay.
But the other ones that I saw listed were out of the package and more expensive.
Huh? Hondo, you know we've talked by email before. Please, if you want to talk concerts and music and stuff, hit me up on my email, which is omnidogsvault2@gmail.com.
Here's another one.
And I'm happy to talk to you anytime.
I sent another link of eBay. This one is $30, but it has $17 shipping. It's a remote controlled Thanos copter.
What?
And Thanos is technically in it. It's just a little like sticker, like an image on the side of the helicopter with his picture.
Not the same.
Not the same.
I think it's larger. I think that it's much larger than the Mattel one, the Hot Wheels.
NFL dude, that's kind of the problem. We didn't. It sort of just evolved that we talked about Civil War II and Riley had thoughts.
Yeah.
And we didn't really call it. Geo's good at finding those. And the Nemo one where I trashed my laptop because of how big Nemo was. And then also the episode where I broke my tooth on the cold pizza.
That was a thing.
Here's Cage Grant. How's it going, buddy?
Those shows, well, obviously I was there for the one that I was the subject of here, but I missed the Nemo, and I also missed the chipped tooth one.
That was a broken tooth that I ended up having to get an implant for because it cracked the tooth all the way through to the root. So yeah, I had to get an implant on that one.
Are you guys ready for the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sent it into the private chat? Okay. Thank you. I'll look at these afterwards.
The third one is the remote control copter, but it was cheaper.
And the second one, wait, can I click it? Oh, here it is. Thanos copter, radio controlled. Thanos copter, radio controlled, Walgreens exclusive, but I don't know that Thanos not in it?
It should just be a sticker on the side of the head.
Okay, yeah. But it is remote. It is remote controlled. What's the third one? Oh, it's the same remote control one.
Yeah, it's $20 with free shipping instead of the $30 with $17 shipping.
The first one with Thanos in it. Oh, that's the Hot Wheels Thanos copter.
That's the more like collectible, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I see the box. I want to see if Thanos is in it.
So since that one's sealed, he doesn't have pictures, but you can go down to like related ones and they might have someone else. But it does have a little bitty Thanos in the helicopter.
And I want to find a little tiny bazooka to give him so we can mix comics.
It comes in a little Tesseract plastic case when you open it.
Ooh. NFL dude, I remember the effing Nemo episode at 124 from a Geo comment. Oh, here's where I trashed my laptop with the Coke that I spilled because of how big Nemo was.
Oh, I love that moment. I know you were mad. You were so pissed.
Oh, I had to get a brand new laptop because the Coke spilled onto my keyboard. That's when I learned to prop my laptop up on something and not have it at sea level. So yeah, we can always find Geo can. We really should have like a best of OmniBros moments. Although it would consist of Riley's Civil War. Yeah, Geo. I bet Geo could compile that fairly easily. Riley's Civil War 2, fucking Nemo with me.
Raw Shark.
Shark. That was you and me. I remember
that. That was a good night.
That was a classic one. Yeah. I think Gabe with the cat dog that I had been looking for desperately. And then he just comes on and he's barbecuing outside and he sits down with his cat dog.
Gabe has quite a few, if I remember right.
Yeah, that flock cat dog. I was after that day. So yeah, we really should have a best of. I bet we could have at least half an hour of funny stuff.
I think we could. We've been doing this long enough.
The Lane Wayne one, do we have him? Wait, I may even have that here, where he's saying Lane Wayne, Raw Shark Pop. That may have been on his own channel. Yeah, I think it's on his. Well, what is?
You know, one of the saddest things I remember I met Lane Wayne a few years ago. Got him to sign a few books and. He didn't have a huge line or anything, right? But he created like one of my favorite characters, Wolverine. So I talked to him for about 30 minutes. He was such a nice guy. And, you know, we talked about the movies and stuff like that. And then he signed one of my my Batman books. And he was like, man, you know what's really funny is I get more money out of this book because of the Batman movies than I do for creating this guy right here, Wolverine. He doesn't get anything from the movie for creating Wolverine.
Who is this?
Lane Wayne. The creator of Wolverine, John Size X-Men 1.
Oh my gosh.
So he was saying that for creating Lucius Fox, like he got a residual from the movies. Like anytime the movies were released on Blu-ray or they came out in the theater, like he got money for that. But at the time, I guess when Wolverine was created and all those characters were created, Marvel didn't have some kind of like agreement or contract with the artists and writers. So that really sucks. Talking about a serious matter, you're laughing your ass off. What's so funny? This better be good.
Cycle Cleveland is beating you up. I had no idea who Lane Wayne was. It was Len Wein.
Len Wein. Of course he corrects me.
I was like, who's Lane Wayne?
Lane Wein. That's who it is. Thank you. Of all the people to correct me. Couldn't you have put him in time?
I love the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of his. I'm like, this is amazing. He keeps saying the name wrong.
And it was Cycle that was correcting him. I'm like, Lane Wayne, I'm not familiar with that creator. What has he created?
He's talking about me. Can you imagine he's meeting him at the con? He's like, Mr. Wayne, I'm a huge fan.
That's what I was thinking. Like if he goes up and he's like, Lane, I'm so Len Wayne's like Len.
Here's the other classic one. This is, I think it's just me and Lou.
I think the story. Have you guys read the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read it when it came out back in singles.
I've heard of it.
The story that I always like to talk about is what the hell is it called? Like I Dream of Rorschach or A Dream of Rorschach. It's where the question's reading an issue of Watchmen, and he's like, "Man, Rorschach is kind of a badass."
Rorschach?
Yeah, the guy from Watchmen.
Rorschach.
Rorschach. Yes.
Rorschach.
Lane Wayne now is Rorschach.
Oh boy, Cycle Cleveland in the chat. Cycle Cleveland in the chat. 'Cause I'm gonna leave right now.
Cycle Cleveland is in the chat. Mark it
damn
down. Rorschach.
Oh,
Sorry,
hear the end of this shit.
I just think.
This guy has 80,000 subscribers now. I love that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Didn't someone make a design, like a shirt design with a shark as Rorschach?
I think we do have a t-shirt like that.
I think we had something.
Yeah.
We were able to get Emily to change the code on IST for that week to Rorschach.
That was that. Yeah, I remember seeing that where Homer's like, "You are not making the code Rorschach." And she did anyway for an Omnibros IST code. Wait, I think I might have a picture of the Rorschach.
Who was it that designed that? I forgot. Yep, there it is.
Lane Wayne.
By Lane Wayne. Oh my! We were using Google Hangouts back then. Yeah,
We were. Yeah, we were.
I remember that now.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that really was. What you don't see here is Jess doesn't know who the fuck Lane Wayne is, but in the chat I start going nuts roasting Omar, and Jess sees it and understands what's happening. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I did goof the last name, but I didn't say Lane Wayne.
Oh shit.
You came just in time, Super Laugh Hard.
This is great. All right.
Oh yeah, right. When Riley was playing the Raspberry Pi, that's when he ran into the table, right?
Yeah, he was stuck there for like a good 10 minutes trying to figure out.
When I was doing the bootleg Twitch, and now I have like real Twitch, so
Oh yeah,
sure different.
I think we really need to work on highlights because there's something for everybody.
If that's something I learned on Twitch, like, and I know this show airs on Twitch, but we don't we'd have to get Geo to change it to where it saves the VOD. And when it does that, people like who watch the show can go in and they can make highlights themselves that will stick around. And so people can go in and they can be like, this is the Omar Lane Wayne highlight, and they can just in perpetuity laugh at Omar's terrible pronunciation of things.
Omar also constantly butchers, is it not Mike McMahon name constantly throughout his review of the Mike McMahon Apex condition?
Did he say like Mahon or something? Yeah, I kind of get that. Like, but the thing is, like, I feel like Omar should know like Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And it should like make sense to him that it would be Mike McMahon. I don't know, man. I don't know McMahon.
Yeah, he does have a weird pronunciation of Joe Kubert, and I think we all kind of struggled with Buscema.
Buscema?
Buscema?
Bushima.
What? Bushima?
I believe it's Bushima.
Bushima.
or Buscema. Hold on. There is that handy dandy Marvel guide to pronunciations.
Well, he said that in the Nova Omnibus, he also says how to pronounce his name right.
I always say Buscema.
Emily's mom, yeah, Jess P&BJ Sandwich, Wonder Woman Jess, Lou Supergirl, and Harley Quinn. Those would make it.
Buscema.
Buscema.
There we go. Sal Buscema.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if I mispronounce it. It matters when Omar, the guy with 80,000 subscribers.
Here's the here, I'll send it in the little private chat. This link is for the document that they published decades ago.
Oh, on how to say their names?
Yeah.
Buscema. Buscema?
Buscema.
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 Buscema. DeMatteis. Where's Sienkiewicz? That must be, yeah.
The problem is, I do think some of these are wrong because it's DeMatteis.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And this says DeMatteis.
So what this is telling me is that someone at Marvel was like, fuck it, it's DeMatteis. And then he just had to probably go with it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, here's Kenny. Hey, Omnibros. So sad to hear about John Marina's senior passing, one of the greatest comic books artists of all time and the best Spider-Man artist. Rest in peace, Jazzy John. Sal Buscema is one of the few Silver Age artists left. That's right.
Sienkiewicz. I think that's his Twitter is Sienkiewicz.
Right. I learned that here, how to pronounce his name.
Sienkiewicz.
No, yeah, Rowish type. We discussed it, and it can be discussed throughout the show. It's something that affects like the entire comic book community because he was so well respected and also a really nice guy. Oh yeah, this is another one that I've heard about 50 different pronunciations. I was told it was Bacalo, but then I heard it was also Bacello. So how do you guys say this? Do we know how to say this? Cycle, how do we say this?
I say bacalo.
I say bacalo.
Bacalo.
Okay.
It's really just fried fish in Spanish.
And if he tells me something different.
Do we have a best of worst of game? Because I have the worst Marvel cover in the modern history. Okay.
Ooh, did you buy that book?
Bucello.
Bucello.
I mean, but you can see how we would say Bacalo.
Did you buy that Spider-Man book, Jess?
Bacello.
For the the omnibus? No.
Yes, don't do that, Jess.
I'm not going to. I just ran into this randomly. I don't know why I bought it. I think I bought it because it's such a hideous, weird design that I feel it must be a joke. It's when they did the redesigns for the Hellfire Gala.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to figure out who the hell this was, and it was only because of the miniature dragon that I could figure out who it was. I'm pretty sure this is Kitty Pryde.
Stop.
Look at this.
That's Rachel.
Rachel. What's
Rachel
she doing with the dragon?
That's not Lockheed. That's like a baby. What's it called? Dire Wraith.
Oh, so this is Rachel. Rachel who?
Not a Dire Wraith. Someone in the chat can say what it is, but it's from Excalibur. Rachel Summers. She was part of the Excalibur.
Okay.
She's wearing her BDSM spiky getup.
Yeah, she's wearing it in this X Factor Okay, wow. She's no, see. Oh no. That's why I thought Kitty Pryde has some red on in it too, but Rachel's got the spikes. Wow. I just think this is so weird.
That looks like a Cenobite. Honestly, it looks like
Yeah.
that would come out of Hellraiser.
So I was going to put it in the sell pile, but I may just frame this because it's so awful. It's just weird. This is by
no one said it yet.
Marvel's greatest writer, by the way.
If no one said it yet, it's a baby werewolf is what the little thing is that she's got.
Baby werewolf.
Warwolf.
Well, look at her shoes in this. What the hell are those?
That is not functional.
She got that Cenobite shit going on, man.
Rachel Summers is Scott and Jean's daughter from Days of Future Past timeline. Yeah, I am not caught up, obviously. I haven't even got to Hellfire Gala.
Yeah,
I need to, but
there's been like 3 of them, I think, at this point.
Yeah, they've done it annually.
And Cycle is the one who told us how to say mignola, like
Mignola.
in lasagna.
So I've got one for you real quick. We're just going to kind of jump into this. What is the worst con pet peeve? What is your worst con pet peeve? The thing that you see at conventions that pisses you off the most or annoys you?
Jesus.
People.
Oh.
I was gonna say, where do you want me to start?
Hey, you got a panel, okay?
Easy one. A very easy one is people who don't have good hygiene.
Oh,
That's going to be an easy one. I think that a lot of cons are kind of being strict about it, and I know that a lot of like card game tournaments are very strict about it now. That if you smell like ass, you got to leave.
the bike rack.
But the things I would say, like people who are generally like annoyingly rambunctious, like the people who they'll dress. I don't know if y'all have seen, because there's a lot of like videos online, cosplay people. There's one dude in particular, and I don't want to call him out, but he does cosplay and like does a lot of videos on YouTube and TikTok, and he'll dress up and like scream, like run around screaming and like throwing himself into crowds. He has hurt people. He has like kicked backs of people's heads when he's jumping into a crowd, like legitimately to the point that he gets kicked out of conventions and banned from them all the time. And I saw a video of one convention where like he was doing his shit that he usually does in costume. I think at one point he like jumped down a flight of stairs and like face first, like slid down, like, you know, it was a whole show that he was putting together and like screaming and like, but it was supposed to be funny. And it's not, it's just fucking annoying. Because people are literally walking up and down the stairs while he's doing this. So he does that, and then he gets reported. The security is trying to chase him down and kick him out, but he was wearing both a costume and a wig, so he changes out of his cosplay and is just normal. So he's walking around the con and no one suspects anything. And the only way that they found him was eventually because he was in line to meet like a voice actor or something. And a security was near the voice actor's table and like was looking at the guy and was like, "You're the dude," and like escorted him out.
Mm.
So that's an annoyance. And then the third one is like, that's terrible, but this is like even worse. The amount of guys, I'm gonna specifically circle guys on this one, who harass the female cosplayers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Terrible. Like guys who will go and like, you know, grab ass and stuff like that and like talk about them and to their face, like sexualize them to their face and stuff just because they're wearing something that's you know, a little bit revealing, or sometimes a bit revealing.
I've seen guys get arrested for that
Yeah.
shit at a con. I've seen people get arrested for that.
Yeah, it's
For
bad.
getting a little too handsy
It
with
gets
somebody.
really, really bad. Like a lot of those guys take it as an opportunity. They take it as an invitation. They're like, "Hey, she's dressed up as a character who is pretty sexualized, and like she's wearing, a one piece or like a kind of a bikini type thing. Like if someone was dressed as Angela, or someone was dressed as Red Sonja, like that's their thing. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for guys to come up and like sexualize them in that way. Yeah, it's terrible. And I've had like people close to me and like friends of mine who have been on the brunt end of that stuff, and I've had people that I know who were on the other side of that, who were doing the things, and they get revealed to be that type of person. And fortunately, the community has no chill for that, and they just excommunicate them basically.
I feel like that's the past few cons that I've been to. There's a lot of signage up about that.
It's gotten better. I think it's gotten better.
Well, there's warnings that if you harass cosplayers, that you will be kicked out. And I think that I'm so sensitized to it now. You really have to ask permission if you want a picture with them. You can't just go up and snap their picture. Some of these cosplayers, a lot of them actually make their living this way, and they don't want any pictures out there that they haven't approved of, because they make their living like selling prints of themselves. And I don't know if they get paid to be at the convention. Some do, maybe some do.
Yeah.
But I know to if I see a cosplayer that's really cool, I want a picture, I always ask their permission first.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
For me, it's the guy that's slowly combing through the long boxes and the trade paperback boxes, and they're just in the way. I'm trying to get through this stuff too, but they're just looking through. No, I don't want. And then they keep going.
And then they leave their stuff on each side of the box, so you can't go through the other boxes.
Oh my god, dude! That, and then they just leave all the shit that they pulled out on top of the long boxes, and they don't put anything back. Do you know how much of a pain in the ass that is? Not only for the people that work there, but for people that are just trying to get through and look through the stuff. Oh god, that's so annoying.
There's been so many times at cons that I've gone to where I've wanted to look through boxes to find certain issues, and I can't, because there's those types of people that are just there, and a lot of them, they take up so much space that you can't go around them.
Yeah.
You can't go, because some of those places, they have a pretty big setup where it's like rows of long boxes. And you just can't move around that person. So if they're in the area you want to be in, good luck. And I've just missed out on trying to search for something. But like, what I've done in the past is I'll go up to some of the booths and just ask the people running it, like, hey, do you have the Marvel swimsuit editions? And they're like, nah, sorry. And I'm like, oh, dang. So that's what I'm looking for.
I think what gets me is that if I'm in line for signatures and there's a serious line, and some dude has brought 30 copies of something that he wants signed by this one person.
Yes. Oh my god.
The arrogance and audacity of that person to think he's so important, he can hold up the entire line and exhaust this creator who's probably being very accommodating. I always look to see if there's like a little sign like limit, but which is why these are up now, because people take advantage of that. Like sign 5 copies for free. Every copy after that is like $10. And so to try and keep those guys from doing it. But I don't know. I don't understand the mindset of somebody that will bring an enormous amount of things for one person to sign and not be aware of the people behind him, or the person he's asking to sign.
Yeah.
That's exhausting for the creator, probably puts the creator in a cranky mood with next in line with like the one book I want signed. And that is just completely rude. And I understand why really popular creators have a limit on things they'll sign, like, and then afterwards they're going to charge. They're just trying to get people through.
Yeah. A few years ago, when I met Capullo, there was a 5-issue limit, and his wife was the one that was enforcing it in the line. She said, 5 issues. That's all you're going to get signed, and we're going to keep the line moving. And to Capullo's credit, he actually made time for every fan. He actually talked to him for like a minute or two. Obviously, he had a huge line, so it wasn't that long a conversation, but he was genuinely a really nice guy, and he signed those issues.
Yeah, I remember when I went to AwesomeCon a couple times and Scott Snyder and Capullo were there. The reason the line was so long was because they were so nice and talking to every fan.
Yeah.
You'd tell, like I would tell Snyder how much his Batman run meant to me. I thought it was great, and it meant so much to me as a longtime fan, and he accepted it as the compliment I meant it, and was just like, thank you so much, that means so much to me. And that's when I had my famous conversation of when's the metal omnibus coming out. I think that was 2018, and he said, oh, by the end of the year. And so here's the metal omnibus that came out last year, and which shows that sometimes creators don't really know when the book's going to get published.
Yeah.
So let's see. James Tiny Onion had 3 free autographs. Okay, that's good. I heard Peach Momoko's line at last year's NYCC turned ugly due to resellers taking advantage of her generosity.
Wow.
That is a serious problem, is that people are getting things signed and flipped, and they want to flip them right away. Yeah, that I get that. NYCC is probably too many people for me to go to.
Some of the creators, like when I met Neil Adams the second time, the first time I don't remember if he was charging, but I know the second time he did, and it was more like, I think it was like $20 if you just wanted a signature like that would be personalized, but it was $40 if you didn't want it personalized. So that you had to pay more if you wanted to do a resell. So I have one. I think my my Green Lantern Green Arrow print is the one that's not personalized, and my X-Men print is personalized. Because the first time I met him, he wasn't doing that yet. But when I met Capullo, it was the same type of thing where he had like someone was in there with every single issue of Spawn that he did, and his the Creech, and was getting every single one of those signed. And it was just a stack, and he was going through it and just one at a time, just signing it, and moving it over. And I mean, that took forever. And I literally just had my issue number 1 of Batman New 52, and that was it. And because I don't want to carry, a massive amount of stuff with me.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's different when I went to Torpedo Comics that time in 2018 to visit Gabe, because Adam Hughes and J. Scott Campbell were doing a signing. And so I took a stack of stuff that I wanted Hughes to sign because he's my favorite artist. I mean, Mike Allred's my favorite artist. Mike Hughes, Adam Hughes is second. But I made sure to, while I did want some signatures to be CGC, they were for my collection. I wasn't going to sell them, but I made sure that I had a bunch personalized, so he knew that I wasn't trying to flip them. And there was an awesome White Queen cover that I have. I can't put my hands on it right now, that he did, and he took the time to put in like big letters. It was the Virgin cover, and it was Emma, and he put, "I know what you're thinking." But he he did it so that her head blocked off some of the letters and stuff. It was really awesome that he did that. And but I would never do that at a con. I mean, I was almost dead last at this particular function that Torpedo Comics had, and it was clear that those guys were done. It was like 5 p.m. They'd already been out for lunch and they were ready to be done. And so I really appreciated the fact, and that's why I made sure a lot of them were personalized, because I'm not going to, I mean, well, I have sold some of his things, but because, you know, I needed money, but other than that, yeah, I now that I think about it, if I go to a con, I'm going to make sure the signature is personalized so that they know that I just want it for my collection.
Greatest barbecue side.
Greatest barbecue side.
Not barbecue item, but the side item. I am going to go with, there is a bread pudding that is made out of Krispy Kreme donuts.
What?
That is the shit.
Where did you get that?
It's a local chain restaurant in Orlando called Four Rivers. They make their bread pudding using Krispy Kreme donuts.
Get out of here.
I'm changing the bet from hamburgers on Transnet 3, and I'm coming down there and we're getting that pudding.
Oh, it's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
There's one of these I feel is kind of cheating, so I do have a second answer. Texas Twinkies.
Okay.
It's a jalapeno stuffed. This one I feel is cheating because it's stuffed with brisket. So it is it's a jalapeno stuffed with cream cheese, brisket, wrapped with bacon, and with a glaze on top. And it's one of the most stupidly delicious things. Specifically, I had them at Hutchins in Frisco, Texas, which is, in my opinion, the hands down the best barbecue joint that I've ever been to.
Okay. That's high praise. You lived in Texas all your life.
Yes, and I've not only have I lived in Texas all my life, but I've lived around the DFW Metroplex. I've lived in Austin and I've lived in Houston, and so I've experienced a lot of barbecue. And I'm gonna say, like, this is gonna piss off. Yeah, there are a couple of Hutchinses. The one I went to was I don't know if it was the original, but it was the one like in Frisco. This might piss off some people, but I feel confident in saying it because I am a Houstonian. Of those three, Houston has the worst barbecue.
Wow.
So anyway, the other
city, as a city,
Houston as a city, of between the three Texas cities that I've lived in, DFW is more than just the city because it's like all of the cities in the Metroplex. But of the three Texas areas that I've lived in, Houston has the worst barbecue of the three.
Wow.
And the thing is, it's not even bad. It's just not up to par with the others.
Franklin's overrated, underrated, just about right. What do you think?
Never went because it's a tourist spot. Like it's not people who live in Austin. It's rare that you find an Austonian who's actually been able to take the time to go to Franklin.
Yeah,
at least when I was living there. The other piece, though, also from Hutchins, is their broccoli salad side. It's like a really finely chopped broccoli in like a it's like a coleslaw sauce that they put on it. So it's like kind of sweet and tangy. Maybe some shaved carrots in there. It's simple, but it's so good. And it's just the perfect, in my opinion, like the perfect accent to have as a side to your like brisket, sausage, etc., etc.
Well, I don't have Dunkin' Donuts bread pudding or jalapeno stuffed with brisket, so I'm just gonna go with, I love beans in sauce with the little bits of meat that are in there. That's my favorite side. And this is ridiculous. Cycle, cut it out. That is such a lie. Don't even stop doing that, because then roguish type bounces off at saying the manga equivalent of "I have a black friend." Cut that out. It's not. I don't even. I mean, I've read some Junji Ito. That knock it off. That's ridiculous. If there was only a mod in the chat, I'd have Cycle and Roguish type putting time out for that. That's ridiculous.
Isn't James a mod? Is he not in the chat right now?
I don't know. And I wanted to say hi to Aria, who was first, Aria, who was first into the chat, but I don't think he's here. What, is Franklin's the tourist spot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but Tasty Melon likes it.
Yeah,
So-
I would never wait 2 hours for any food, even if it's supposed to be the best food in the world. Like, I'm gonna go do something else.
So we need to talk about Virginia barbecue just real quick. I'm gonna share my screen.
Stop it. I already don't you dare. That's
What is this mess? Yes.
This was made up. I'll share this only to disprove it. This is absolutely not true. And this created a huge controversy, like in the state Senate of Virginia.
Yeah.
The more I see of this image, the more it pisses me off the longer I stare at it.
They took macaroni and cheese, literally.
Oh my god.
That is so not Virginia barbecue.
The ribs look like a dog toy.
Oh, it looks terrible. And there's no iced tea. There's no ice in an iced tea. The toast doesn't even look toasted. What is this?
It looks like plain macaroni, and that's like a piece of Texas toast that's untoasted.
Yeah.
Conroy Jet's right. This is fake news.
Nobody makes barbecue like in Virginia. See?
That's such a lie. God damn you for that.
That's the barbecue that they serve at like school lunch.
That's what they serve in hell.
That's prison barbecue, man.
Oh my god, that is terrible.
The person who made that went to prison.
Yeah. I'm from Virginia before Texas. Southeast Virginia has great pulled pork sandwiches with vinegar barbecue sauce. Yes. Virginia barbecue is good. I am not saying it's as good as Texas barbecue, but I'm saying it's not that bland third grade cafeteria food that you just showed either.
Matthew, I've never seen such a dry photo.
Yeah. That is, oh my gosh. I
That's
hate
an
that
insult.
picture.
That honestly, if you were to serve me that on a plate and I paid you $20, we're gonna have a come to Jesus moment.
Those are literally, that's a photo you can taste because there's no flavor there.
Oh my god, that was bland.
I know you're my biggest fan, so that's why I didn't want you guys to continue that awful analogy.
Jesus, yeah, just somebody meeting Sky Daddy by the time that I finish eating that, if I even get through it. Let's go with
Send that one back, man.
I can't think of anything besides beans that I like specifically as a side.
Most barbecue joints, like you know, when you order the food, like they have it behind their counter, like you're seeing them serve it up.
Mm-hmm.
So if I went into a barbecue joint and I saw that, like if I'm in line looking at what they're serving up and I'm turning around, like I'm not even gonna get up. I'm gonna look at that and be like, no. Just
yeah, no, nobody wants to eat that.
that looks like the type of that barbecue place has like good lighting and the seats are not made of wood. That
where did you take me to Blackie's? Was it Black?
there and I've said this before, but it's funny. There's like 3 blacks. There's like Terry Blacks, and then there's Blacks, and then there's the other Blacks. Like there's and 2 of them are pretty close to one another. The other one, the original one, is like outside of Austin. I don't remember exactly where. I've been to the original one, and honestly, it's not that much better than the one I took you to.
We did a lot of eating that was great, and I think my favorite was that like plate of 25 breakfast tacos for $5 or wherever that was.
Oh yeah, the Don Juan. It was from Juan and a Million in East Austin.
That's a great name.
Literally, it's a plate, like a mountain of the filling, and then they give you a bunch of tortillas, and you just fill it. And it no joke. I don't know if they've raised the prices. I'm gonna check, but it was $5.50, and I give 100% tip every time. Every time.
I think I left at 20 that day. It was unbelievable. And it was great. It was really good.
Yeah, fantastic. The tortillas are great. The egg filling is great. Everything's great. Let's see. I'm gonna check their menu so I can. Where is it? Don Juan. Give me the Don Juan. It's inflation strikes $6.95.
Oh my god, I'm never going there again.
But it's like inflation after that was like 5 years ago or something, and I think it was sitting at $5.50 forever. A secret combination of how are you gonna say it's secret when they literally tell you like potato, egg, bacon, and cheese in a deliciously hot tortilla, but the combination of potato, egg, bacon, and cheese is literally just a mountain on a plate. And then they give you like 4 tortillas.
Yeah, it was this huge pile, and you just shoved it into the tortilla. The guys that got put in timeout. I've never been treated so shabbily. Come on, Cycle. We're going over to very fine condition to talk about Transformers.
Speaking of Transformers, am I crazy? Like, did someone tell us something ahead of time, or was that the worst kept secret in the world? Because I swear like months ago, someone mentioned Transformers at Skybound.
It was kind of rumored around, but nothing was confirmed. And it leaked over the last few days that that's what was going to happen. I thought it would have been badass if people found out about it today. But yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson is writing and drawing Transformers, which fuck yeah, that's a day one pickup for me. Joshua Williamson is writing G.I. Joe. This is all part of Skybound's new thing where apparently they have the rights now to Transformers and G.I. Joe. So that's going to be now. I'm in just for Daniel Warren Johnson alone.
I need Mr. Robert Kirkman to say something about collected edition plans on what they're going to do over at Image, or if they're going to let Marvel pull a deal with Hasbro like they just did with ROM and Space Knights. And if we can get those Transformers and G.I. Joe Omnis of the original Marvel material.
Oh my god, I would love that.
We love having you here, Cycle. It's been too long since you've watched OmniBros.
We do. What is the worst ice cream flavor? Mint.
Yeah.
Mint.
I hate mint ice cream. My wife can have a gallon of mint chocolate chip in the house and it lasts forever because I'm not touching it.
I'll eat it with her. I love mint.
Next time it's in the house, I will invite you over.
I will eat too much of it. She's gonna be pissed off. She's gonna be like, "Where the hell did my mint ice cream go?" You can never invite him ever again. Mint chocolate chip is my shit. That used to be my flavor when I was a kid.
What is wrong with you?
Flavor.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
It's like an Andes mint in in a bowl, man, and it's it's wonderful.
I'm
go back to the manga show. Go back to the manga show.
They probably disagree with me on that there too. It's so weird because when I was growing up, like no one hated mint chocolate chip around me. And so now as an adult and I see all these people who are bad mouthing mint chocolate chip, I'm like, y'all are the aberrations, not me.
I don't like Thin Mints either from Girl Scout cookies.
I love Thin Mints. I love York peppermint patties.
Can we ban him?
James, put Riley in timeout.
I'm chewing some Mentos gum right now.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
One time
Riley took me for the best vanilla ice cream I've ever tasted. We did nothing but eating there. The 2 coffee shops we went to didn't really have much, so we just ate the whole time we were in Austin and visited the toy museum. But what was the name of that ice cream place that had that Mexican vanilla that was so good?
Oh, Amy's.
Oh, God, that was the best vanilla ice cream I've ever had. That Mexican.
Glad you liked it because it's also one of the like most expensive freaking. That's like gentrification ice cream.
I'm guilty.
It's good, but it's like, damn, man, I can go to there's a chain that's like goes into Dallas. So it's not in Austin. Called shit. It's been so long since I've had it. I can't even remember. I'll think of it in a second. But they have like some of the best ice cream, and it's cheap as shit. Like for a couple bucks, you get a huge cone, like a double cone.
I did this next one thinking about Riley specifically and hoping he'd be on the show.
Brahms was the place that I'm thinking of.
Greatest hot sauce.
I'm very basic when it comes to my favorite. I'm not going to say it's the greatest, but my favorite. My choice, the one that I use on everything, I put that shit on everything, is not Red Hot. It's Texas Pete.
Texas Pete is the shit. Texas Pete is so good.
It's just a very good basic hot sauce. It's got a nice amount of spice, a good amount of vinegar in there. The flavor is right, and I put that on everything. I do when I can't find the Texas Pete, because sometimes it will sell out. It's not made in Texas. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta have Texas. It's not a Texas.
Is there a guy named Pete even? Or is
I don't
that
know.
a lie too?
That probably is a lie. But anyway, I'll use Frank's Red Hot. That's a good alternate choice for me. I'm not a huge fan of the flavor of Tabasco, like normal Tabasco.
That's mine. Tabasco Chipotle specifically is my shit.
Yeah, I saw you share. You were excited to find it. Let me grab that bottle. Hold on.
Yeah, McElhinney Tabasco Chipotle is my favorite. I love it.
I put sriracha on everything.
You're a sriracha guy?
Yeah. Although I'm interested in trying Texas Pete's.
I think Texas Pete is a good balance. It's got a good vinegar taste to it if you're into that, and it doesn't have that high of a kick to it.
So here's that tequila lime one that I got.
I wanted to try that.
Yeah, this is one that we were super excited about when it first got unveiled, if you will. Just interesting sounding, like tequila and lime hot sauce. So I bought it and I was excited and I brought it home and I finally tried it. I put it on a couple chips and it's so tequila forward. Weird. It's like, I would imagine using this to garnish a drink, like to make like a spicy, like what, margarita or something, on the rocks, I would say. Maybe use this in a Bloody Mary for funsies, but on its own, no. It's like as a hot sauce to put on something, it's weird. Like I put it on like a piece of chicken, and I was like, this just tastes like I'm taking a shot, but eating it at the same time.
I couldn't have that then.
I don't think you can.
I had mambo sauce for the first time the other day. That changed my life. Dude.
1.8% alcohol by volume.
Oh, yeah, I can't have that for the same reason I can't have NyQuil. Yeah, mambo sauce is the big thing in DC.
Oh, it's so good.
Really good on fried chicken.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. La Ganma Chili Crisp is the goat. Are we still talking about ice cream, or what are we talking about?
I think he's talking about hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Chili Crisp is. I have some Chili Crisp in my fridge also.
Oh.
You find it at like Chinese restaurants and stuff like that. Little bowl with it's hot and has crisp in it. I don't know how else.
This looks good. I'm gonna add this to my cart on Amazon.
I like pistachio. Ooh, dark chocolate. I'll eat pistachio with dark chocolate.
Spitaccio.
Pistachio. You don't like coffee ice cream? Oh, I love coffee ice cream.
Coffee ice cream.
Right now, I have 2 ice creams. I have that Dr. Pepper.
Oh
blue-
yeah.
It's straight up like if anyone who knows, but if you've tried a Dr. Pepper shake from Whataburger, it tastes just like that. And then I have Bluebell also introduced a strawberry lemonade ice cream. I think it's a sherbet though, and it's really good, like a great combination of just like strawberry and lemon sherbet, and it has little like lemon chips in it.
Here's a question for you about ice cream, Riley.
Bluebell, not Blue Ribbon.
Oh, Bluebell.
I love Bluebell. That's a good.
I can't tell you if something is Texas overhyped because I literally have lived my entire life in Texas. So that like it literally you're not asking the right person for that. Like if Jess came through and I force fed him like 15 different flavors of Bluebell, then you could ask him, is it deal or is it overhyped? But I will tell you that Texans were willing to risk Listeria for Bluebell back during that whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What?
There was a whole thing where like Bluebell ice cream was contaminated and people were like, but I want it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna have my Bluebell. That's such a Texas.
It's great because like the things I will say positively about Bluebell, take it or leave it, a very wide variety of flavors, like very wide, often like creative flavors, like what you'll get from Ben and Jerry's, but much more affordable than Ben and Jerry's. So that I think is a big thing. And I like it. It's what I grew up on. It's the main thing that I'll get. Like every once in a while I'll venture out and get some Ben and Jerry's, but like it's so overpriced in comparison.
Matthew's right. I've tried Tillamook this year, and Tillamook is a really good ice cream.
Greatest TV show opening theme. The theme song to a TV show. What is the greatest one?
Opening theme.
For me, again, this is just because I used to watch it a lot as a kid. I love the opening theme song to the Golden Girls.
Thank you for being a friend.
Unapologetic. I love the Golden Girls, and I love the opening theme song to the Golden Girls.
I'm gonna have to say Batman 66.
I was gonna say Batman Beyond.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one, like Saturday mornings, you're gonna get up and dance, man.
Yeah, that is a good one.
But if I'm bringing anime into it, Witch Hunter Robin has like such a great intro, and it's an underappreciated and like acknowledged show. But the intro is this great like moody rock theme.
What about the opening to the X-Files? That's pretty iconic.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Jocks likes Home Improvement's opening.
Home Improvement, yeah. Boy Meets World had a pretty classic one in the 90s if you watch that.
Yeah,
I wasn't as big of a fan of the college years as the original one.
Same. Yeah, once they went to college, I didn't care as much. They did a whole thing with like Corey and Topanga. They got married in college, right? That was a thing for a while.
And then they came back with the Girl Meets World
Right.
more recently, where they're like it's their daughter.
Game of Thrones. That's a good intro.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
I just think about Floppy Wiener whenever I think about Game of Thrones. Floppy Wiener, Floppy Wiener.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic.
Spider-Man 96 animated series had a really great like electric guitar opening.
Saved by the Bell. Oh, quite a few ones in here.
Riley's not going to say we are, even though he's wearing a straw hat shirt. I don't.
I'm not wearing a straw hat shirt. I'm wearing a red-haired pirates shirt.
Okay, I don't understand anything.
But I also We Are is the original theme song to the Japanese One Piece anime. But I never watched the One Piece anime. I watched like a few episodes of the dub when it came over, but I just read the manga. I didn't like the animation. I didn't like anything about it. It just didn't vibe with me. I've read the manga for 20 years now, but I didn't watch the anime. I watched a couple of the movies more recently, and they were fun, but
The Simpsons. You want to talk about iconic?
That's a great one.
Yeah.
the intro animation is better than the intro music. Like Danny Elfman's intro song is great, but the animation and like all the variations and stuff to it, especially with the couch gags,
Yeah.
amazing. Makes it one of the best intros on TV.
Battlestar Galactica. That was a good intro.
I've never seen it.
Of course, I will say Star Trek, the original series, also had a great intro music.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah, that was good. I like that one. Who is Inio Asano?
I think Cycle Cleveland doesn't watch much of my content, if he's asking that.
Knight Rider, Greatest American Hero, Sanford and Son. These can all get stuck in my head. Happy Days was good too. Yeah, I love Happy Days.
Huh. Okay. What do you say? It's getting kind of late. What about two more?
Sure.
Let's go greatest or worst, Jess?
Worst.
Worst. Let's go with worst condiment on a pizza. Black olives.
Oh God, I love black olives on my pizza.
Oh,
Same.
oh.
I don't think I'm a fan of green peppers on pizza.
What? Oh, it's delicious. It's better than nasty black olives.
Oh, black olives and mushrooms and onions. I love that on a pizza with pepperoni.
Mushrooms are my no-go.
Really? Mushrooms for both of you? Man, I love them.
Mushrooms are the only food that I just can't eat. And I've tried, because your taste buds change every 7 years or whatever it is. And I try, and I'll be like, all right, let's try it again. No, never.
No portobello, not even if you throw it on the sauteado? Nothing?
People ask, like, is it the texture? It's everything. It's the texture, it's the flavor, it's the everything.
Banana? Where are you going that puts banana on pizza?
Banana.
Talking about banana peppers?
But what? I need Riley to use his sphere of knowledge and influence to get this new Asano into English ASAP.
His currently running thing, this thing that followed Dead Demons. I mean, it'll happen. It'll probably happen soon. They just have to wait a little bit.
The amount of crimes against humanity I've seen done to pizza is far too many. I will cop to liking anchovies on my pizza.
Oh, Jess, you're breaking my heart tonight.
I love extra anchovies on my Caesar salad. I'll take anchovies on pizza.
No. Hawaiian pizza. We're all good with Hawaiian here. I love it.
Yeah, I don't see why there's so much hate towards it.
I don't want bananas on my pizza, but pineapple I'll eat. Yes, Matthew gets it. There you go.
It's disgusting. Some of y'all that like anchovies on your pizza are the same ones that walk around your house barefoot. That's all I'm going to say. And then go straight to bed at night.
Oh my gosh.
Last one, because it's getting late and I got to be up early for work.
Actually, let me do the instocktrades.com where you can get your collected editions from 30 up to 80%, depending on the sale.
Okay.
Add the 2% loyalty discount. Last Monday of every month, we give away a free $50 IST gift card. Free shipping on orders over $50 or more in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's instocktrades.com. Thwang, thwang.
So last one, greatest horror comic. Kind of bringing it back.
Horror comic.
Alan Moore's Swamp Thing for me.
Oh, okay.
If we're not averse to me weaving it up in here, I would say PTSD Radio.
Okay. What's that about?
Is that manga?
Yes, it is a manga.
Okay.
So PTSD Radio is it's a series of short vignettes that are lightly connected through thematic things, but mostly it's like strange happenings around places and around towards people. Different spirits and ghouls and whatnot appearing. And I describe it to people like the horror in there is, to me, the perfect kind of like creeping horror that scares me. It's like the horror that makes you run to your bed after you've turned off the lights, like the horror of the unknown. There's like scenes like, someone's in bed and they hear something and they turn the light on and the curtain is just ever so slightly open and they know that they closed it, and so they turn the lights off and you can see like the shadow of someone staring through, stuff like that, like really creeping things. But there are connected like through lines, certain characters that reappear, certain elements and certain horrible spirits and whatnot that reappear throughout, a lot of them having to do with like hair in particular. And the series is on an indefinite hiatus at this point because the creator was experiencing in real life too many things similar to what he had written in the story.
Fuck, I just got chills. You saying that just gave me chills.
Yeah, so he writes into the final volumes that he ever published. There's 6 total volumes. It's collected in 3 2 and 1 volumes in the US. But at the end of the 5th volume, he adds 3 real life stories where he outlines a bunch of the stuff that has been happening to him, and he shows like, I had written this story about a guy who was like bleeding from his mouth, and then I went to work and something happened and I had like all of a sudden these sores and like rotting flesh in my mouth and I started spitting up blood, stuff like that. And then it's 3 separate chapters where he outlines different circumstances and how like they affected him. And he says, you might not believe me, but my assistants and everyone that works in my studio can corroborate these instances. And then he's like, I'm sorry, like these things happen. This is why I had to take kind of a break from the series, but I'm going to get back to it and I'll bring you new chapters soon. He publishes the material that's in volume 6, and then volume 6 ends with 1 more real life chapter. And he was like, I told you guys at the end of the previous stuff that if anything else happened, I'd let you know. So here I am. More things happened, but the spirits told me that I cannot speak anymore about what's going on. And
okay,
so
you need to send me a link to this right after we're done here, because I need to read this. This sounds badass, dude.
It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Okay, please send me a link to this. I might pick this up over the weekend.
It's great.
This is a legit horror comic. Yeah.
This made me laugh, and I was trying to crack up. Yeah, Sins Past is depending on who you ask.
A roguish type is agreeing, and he'll have that face in his nightmares.
Do you know all about Sins Past, Riley? Okay.
Yep. It's at the very least it's been retconned though.
Too late for me. I saw it. Even though Cycles jam me up about Junji Ito because it's one of the few mangas that I can actually somehow follow, I have a hard time picking just one. and I'm trying to think. I can't think of the name of it. It was a short story about openings in a mountain, and the people could fit into the mountain. Do you know what I'm talking about, Riley?
The Enigma of Amigara Fault.
Okay, that freaked me out. What's the Spiral book?
Uzumaki.
Uzumaki freaked me out. Dissolving Classroom? No. Yeah. That almost made me throw up. That was
little kids.
That was genuinely creepy. All of his stuff, somehow I can follow it, and it is some of the most disturbing stuff I have ever read. And I keep going back for more, even though I have trouble reading it. I get the gist of it, and the images are so disturbing. That Dissolving Classroom one had a scene in it that almost made me throw up. It was really close to making me throw up.
Yeah.
So that's my horror comic, because it is truly disturbing, a lot of those images. But I like them.
All right, that's all I got.
What did
man.
you say? Did you say one?
Yeah, I did. I said Swamp Thing.
Oh, Swamp Thing. That's right.
Handalorian points out a very good one, actually. Eddie Gein by Eric Powell. I think the fact that it actually happened makes it even more disturbing once you read that once you read the biography of Ed Gein.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's an all-time classic. Junji Ito, that freaked me out as well. Would just dig Orochi.
I don't know. Orochi is a little different. Maybe because it's not as dialogue heavy, it would be easier to read and follow because you're just looking mostly at pictures, if I'm recalling correctly. But it's also, I don't know, maybe. I wouldn't. It wasn't my first thought to be like, oh, if I was going to recommend another manga to Jess, I would give him Orochi. If I was going to recommend a Kazuo Ume's book to anyone, I would recommend him to check out Drifting Classroom.
Oh, yeah, and Roguish Type gets those mixed up, which I also do.
Yeah. Dissolving is Ito, Drifting is Umez.
Well, okay, Super Laugh Hard and Cleveland are having... Tasty Mon as a compliment for you, Lou.
Thanks, man. This is fun. I like doing these.
Yeah, I like doing them too.
All right, guys, I got to bow out because we've been going for 2 hours and I got to be up in a bit.
I gave you, I put a link in our chat for the first volume of PTSD Radio on Amazon.
Perfect.
So y'all know where it is, what it is. You can get digital copies if you want, whatever. Also, Right Stuff has it. IST might still have it also.
Yeah, I need to read this. This is something fantastic.
Okay, this has been great. Great having the original three together. Thanks for joining, Riley and Lou. Where can they find you, Riley, on your various social media areas of expertise?
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and now Twitch. I'm the Omnibus Collector, and on Twitter, Omni Collector. I have one video I've put out this week already on my channel. I should be doing a Twitch stream at the end of the week. I don't really have a topic for it just yet, but we're going to hang out. And I should have at least one more video on YouTube this week.
Nice. And you, Lou?
You can find me at ComicsGuide101 on Twitter, ComicsGuide101 on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of old videos on there anymore. I don't even make money off of them anymore, but it does help people out. So check those out, guys, if you're looking for some old guides and things like that for stuff you want to read.
And you can find me on OmniDogs Vault on YouTube and OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram and on Mike Allred's Twitter, where he and I are best friends now. Oh, and William Lee is sad. That's great. I'm glad that you're sad because that means you enjoyed the show. But I'm also sad you're sad. And
Well,
Cycle is Heath Houston on Instagram.
I'll be back tomorrow evening for our manga show. So if anyone wants to check out that, we don't really have a topic. Usually we just cover news, but it'll be myself and Gio, as well as our good friend Colleen, who joins us 3 out of every 4 weeks now on that show.
That's great. Comics Guide's view count is explosive. You must have a lot of views on your videos.
I wouldn't even know. Honestly, I haven't looked at any of that stuff in over a year at this point.
Thanks for the stream. I'll have to check out the beginning later. Good to have you here, Roguish Type. Thank you to the chat. This was a lot of fun. Shock and surprise to see Cycle back. So really happy to, ask your questions on the manga show. That's where you need to do it. Really happy to have a lot of people watching. Had fun. Peace and love, and we love you all and appreciate it. Thanks to IST, our sponsor, and thanks to everybody watching this afterwards. I'm going to use our music to play us out. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. We'll do this. Peace and love, peace and love.